Sony canceled Silk. They cut Spider-Woman. They buried Madam Web. But somehow, this one Spider-Man series made it through the fire, with Nicolas Cage at the front and a trench coat full of secrets. What happened next told us why this is the one they bet everything on. This is not the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. This is Spider-Man in a trench coat, in the middle of a depression, with a gun. Sony just dropped the first trailer for the live-action Spider-Man Noir series, and it is already breaking the internet. Yes, Nicolas Cage is back. And no, this is not just some fan service cameo. He is leading the show as a darker, older version of Peter Parker in a story that takes us back to the 1930s. Gritty streets, crooked cops, shadows longer than the buildings. This is a Spider-Man world we have never seen in live action before. What makes this even more wild is the style. The whole series will be available in both black and white and full color. You choose how you want to watch it. Kind of like Marvel's Werewolf by Night, but with more bullets and broken bones. And this is not just a small spin-off. It is the first proper live-action Spider-Man show in decades, and it is coming straight to Amazon. We are going to break down everything in this trailer, the comic book storylines, hidden villains, and how this show might secretly set up something much bigger for Sony's Spider-Verse. Because there is one moment in the trailer that flips everything, and most people missed it. This series matters for a lot of reasons, and not just because it looks cool. This is the first proper live-action Spider-Man series in decades. That alone makes it a big deal. But it gets even more interesting when you look at how this came together. Nicolas Cage is not just voicing the character like he did in Into the Spider-Verse. He is stepping fully into the role, live action, bringing that same gritty edge. But this time, with a much darker tone. And that changes everything. Then there is the team behind it. Sony is partnering with Amazon, and Lord and Miller are involved again. The same duo who helped make Into the Spider-Verse one of the best animated films ever. That gives fans confidence. This is not some rushed project. It is being built with care. And that matters because Sony's other Spider-Man shows, they did not survive. The Silk show was canceled before it even got out of the gate. The Spider-Woman spin-offs never got past the planning phase. But Spider-Man Noir made it through all the noise. It got greenlit. It got budget. It got Cage. That tells you one thing. Out of everything Sony was working on, this was the one they believed in. And that makes you wonder what they are really building. But the second the trailer starts, you notice something. This is not just TV. This is an era. The first thing that stands out in the trailer, before the voice, before the action, is the look. This series is shot entirely in black and white. Not some quick filter. Not flashback style. The whole thing is built to look like a classic film from the 1930s. It gives the city this cold, sharp edge. Shadows are deeper. Faces are harder. Every frame looks like a comic panel pulled from an old newspaper. And that is the point. There will be a color version too, just like what Marvel did with Werewolf by Night. But let's be honest, most fans are going to watch this in black and white. That is where the mood hits the hardest. The lighting feels more dramatic, the streets look dirtier, and Spider-Man himself, he looks more dangerous, more tired, more real. If you have seen Sin City, it gives off a similar vibe, but this one feels less flashy and more grounded. Like you are actually walking through a broken city with no heroes left, and one man is just trying to hold it together. That is what this version of Spider-Man feels like. Not colorful, not slick, just raw survival. Now let's talk about what this version of Peter Parker actually is. This version of Spider-Man is not swinging through skyscrapers with bright red spandex. He is walking through alleyways in a city that has no color, no hope, and no heroes. The story takes place during the Great Depression. People are broke, crime is rising, and the police? Most of them are just as corrupt as the crooks. In this world, Peter Parker is not a high school kid. He is a young man working under Ben Urich, a reporter trying to expose the mob. No fancy science lab, no high school crush, just struggle. During one investigation, Peter follows a lead into a hidden warehouse filled with stolen artifacts. That is where it happens. He gets bitten, not by a radioactive spider, but by a strange one that crawled out of a spider god idol. He passes out, has visions, and wakes up changed. His powers are raw, not clean or flashy, just sharp reflexes, brutal strength, and a sixth sense for danger. He builds a suit from old war gear. The leather coat? That belonged to Uncle Ben, who fought in World War I. The mask, made from scraps. This Spider-Man is not trying to be a symbol. He is just trying to survive. No Avengers, no tech, just fists, instincts, and fear. And with a darker world comes a much darker list of villains. The villains in this series are not wearing green armor or swinging electric whips. They are gangsters, smugglers, hitmen in suits with quiet knives. And yet, they are still the ones we know. Norman Osborn is back, but he is not flying on a glider. In this world, he runs everything from the shadows. No mask, no gadgets, just power. He owns the police, the politicians, and the crime families. He is the Goblin without ever needing to wear one. Then there is Felicia Hardy, the Black Cat. She owns the city's most dangerous nightclub. That is where the deals happen. That is where secrets are sold. And her smile hides more than it shows. Brendan Gleeson is rumored to be playing the Vulture, reimagined as a mob enforcer with a twisted sense of justice. No wings, just blood on his hands and a crooked code of honor. The trailer also hints at more. A bulky man in the fog, could be Sandman, a shadowy figure with mechanical arms, Dr. Octopus, whispers of a hunter arriving from overseas, Craven, even a flicker of electricity in a dark alley, maybe Electro. They are not cartoon villains here. They are men shaped by war, by poverty, by hunger, same names, same danger, but built for the 1930s New York. But one tiny scene in the trailer may have revealed who's really pulling the strings. If you have read the original Spider-Man Noir comics, you will notice something right away. The trailer follows that early storyline pretty closely. The setting is the same. The tone is dark. The city feels rough and real. Peter is not cracking jokes. He is chasing murderers through alleyways with a pistol in his coat. And that's Spider-God origin. It looks like they kept it. That is a bold move, and fans of the comics are going to love that part. But here is the big question. How much will they change? Will they keep everything raw and gritty? Or will they try to modernize parts of it to make it easier for new viewers to follow? So far, it feels like they are sticking to the mood and message of the comics, and that works. Now, some people are comparing it to the Into the Spider-Verse version. Same character, same voice. But this series stands alone. No talking pigs, no portals, no cartoon Miles Morales running around. This version of Spider-Man lives in one timeline, his own. It is not fun, it is not flashy, but it feels real. And since this is Nicolas Cage, let's talk about what kind of Spider-Man we're getting. This version of Peter Parker is not a teenager figuring things out. He is older, rougher, tired, and you can feel that in every word Nicolas Cage says. He is not cracking jokes or trying to balance school and superhero life. He is a man who has seen too much and lost even more. Cage is not playing the beginning of Spider-Man's story. He is playing the part where the weight of it all starts to break a person down. Instead of showing us another full origin story, the show will likely give us pieces, flashbacks, quick memories, bits of pain hidden between the punches. You will see how Peter became this version of himself, but only in pieces, just like his life. Noir Spider-Man does not feel like a superhero. He feels like a detective, a shadow with a mask and a reason to keep moving forward, even if it hurts. And that is why Nicolas Cage works so well here. He has that tired voice, that weight in his stare. He brings something heavy to the character, and fans already loved his voice performance in Into the Spider-Verse. And if this works, it could open the door to something way bigger. This show is not just another side project. It is part of a much bigger plan Sony has been quietly shaping behind the scenes. While other Spider-Man spin-offs have completely fallen apart, like Silk, which was canceled before it could even start, or Madam Web, which barely survived its own release, Spider-Man Noir kept moving forward. And that says something. It means Sony believes this version of Spider-Man has something real to offer. At the same time, their big screen projects are shifting. Venom is getting another movie, but with hints of a soft reboot. Craven's solo film was delayed and might also get reworked. And after Beyond the Spider-Verse wraps up Miles Morales' animated trilogy, the next big move is already expected, a live-action Miles Morales. That has been teased for years, and now it feels like the timing is finally right. So think about this. Sony is cleaning the slate. They are resetting the board. Noir Spider-Man gives them a darker, grounded space to experiment. Then when Miles steps into live action, it hits harder, because the universe around him has already started growing in different directions. But for now, it all starts here, in a smoky back alley, with one man and a mission. This is not the Spider-Man swinging through shiny towers or cracking jokes between punches. This is a man walking through rain-soaked streets where every alley hides a body and every handshake could get him killed. There are no Avengers, no tech suits, no backup, just shadows, silence, and a city that forgot what heroes look like. And that is exactly why this story matters. Because in a world that's broken, the idea of someone still choosing to help, still risking everything with no guarantee it will work, that hits harder than any explosion or multiverse twist. Spider-Man Noir is not built to inspire comfort. He is built to survive. But survival alone is not enough. Not for Peter Parker. Even in this version, where hope feels pointless, you can see it. He still moves. He still fights. He still looks evil in the face and chooses not to become it. And that choice, that is what makes him Spider-Man. Now here is what I want to know from you. If Spider-Man was born into a world without hope, would he still fight for it? Or would he become something else? Let me know what side you think this version of Peter's really on.